my drippy hippies, and welcome back to another episode of this campervan conversion series. Just before we get into it, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. In this episode, we're going to be tackling the ceiling and start giving this campervan that luxury feel. To do this, I use some battens which are 18mm thick by 94mm wide. I also use some 6mm MDF, and I've also selected a paint for the backdrop to this ceiling. So now we've gone through all that, let's crack on with it. I'm just going to give you a little few hints and tips along the way with this one. A few little recordings of me just chatting bubbles like. So what I've got on the floor, I've got my laser line. Really handy tool if you can get one of these. I've just lined that up with the centre of the van. As you can see, the red line down the middle. To get the centre of the van, I've gone with using this little hole here. Found the centre of that because I'm taking that as the centre. And then I've gone with, measured this and this edge of the bracket and found the centre there. And then I've lined that to the centre of that hole, which is giving me the centre of the van. And why I've gone for the centre of the van is I'm going to put battens along here. So I'm going to start with one in the centre and then work off that. And hopefully it'll fit nicely each side. I've already measured it out, so it's going to work nicely as well. What else I've gone for is fitting these strips, just 6mm ply, because I found the 25mm insulation was sitting just slightly lower than the beam, so I didn't want this to create any ripples in the ceiling. So this will just keep the ceiling as flush as possible. So I'm just going to stick this board up now and this board up on the ceiling. Just a little tip, you want to measure it roughly where your screws are going to go behind your batten, and then that way when you stick your battens up, they'll be hit by your, they'll hide your screws like. Now we're entering my favourite part of this episode, which is really going to set this ceiling off. What we're going to do is transform these square cut edge timbers and give them a nice router. So the ones situated in the centre of the van, they're going to have a router on both sides of the timber. And then I've got a border that's running around the edge of the van, and this is just going to have a router on one side of the timber. So now we've gone through that, let's crack on with it. Just a little recap time on fixing the ceiling. Number one, when you come to do your 6mm MDF, you want to make sure your screws will eventually end up behind your timbers, because soft lad here forgot to do that, and I've got one or two showing, and I've got a little job on sorting that out. And number two, when you come to do your battens, you want to make sure you keep an eye on these just until the glue's gone off, because I had the odd one that's dropped down slightly, and I've just had to give this a little sand, which is not too much of a problem. So on that note, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, stay tuned, stay active, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.